Are you Tony's Stank?
Hello and welcome to Delivery for Tony Stank, an MCU podcast with me, Massey1903. Now, this has obviously been recorded for YouTube, but I'm also putting the audio version up on Spotify, so you can listen to it while you do whatever you want. So, just to give you an idea about this podcast, we'll be delving into everything MCU, including upcoming TV shows, movies, and any news as well. So before we do get into it, just to let you know that the plan for this podcast is to be released before every episode or before episodes of TV shows. And also I would like to do a before and after of movies. It'll mainly be myself, but I will be getting some guests in for certain things. And yeah, that's kind of how it's going to work from now. So yes, welcome into the first ever podcast. That's right, it's called Delivery for Tony Stank, which is, as you saw at the start there, or as you heard at the start there if you're listening on Spotify, it's a line that Stan Lee had as a FedEx driver at the end of Captain America Civil War. And yes, it is Tony Stank. Okay, so what does Marvel have lined up for us? So first of all, we have What If, the animated show that is starting on August the 11th, 10 episodes, and it's going to, I believe, go every Wednesday on Disney Plus. We do have Chadwick Boseman's unfortunate final performance as T'Challa. I think there's a lot of people that are reprising their roles from the main timeline, the main cinematic universe. Then after that, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is released on September the 3rd, 2021. So we actually have the Mandarin, the real Mandarin, not the actor, and the Ten Rings, which is obviously the terrorist group that was first introduced in Iron Man 1. So we'll see. I don't know if it really counts for Marvel. It might. We don't know. But Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, is being released on September the 17th. Being directed by Andy Serkis, which is crazy. The trailer for this film looks incredible. Now, I loved Venom 1. Venom 2 looks like it's absolutely up the bar. Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, or Carnage, and of course Tom Hardy back as Venom or Eddie Brock. After that, so an actual Marvel thing, because obviously Venom is Sony in production with Marvel. I don't know how it's going to work. After that, we have The Eternals, which is being released on November the 5th, 2021. An all-star cast we have there. Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Brian Tyree Henry, Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, Gemma Chan, Kit Harington. It's going to give us a bit of origin stories for the MCU, potentially. Directed by Chloe Zhao as well, the director of Nomadland. Then we have Spider-Man No Way Home, which we still have not had a trailer for as of recording. Spider-Man No Way Home. So there's all the rumors about who's going to be in that. Now that's been released December 17th, 2021. Normally we'd have had some sort of teaser or something by now, but nothing. All quiet on the Western Front. So we'll need to see what happens with that. But yes, we have... It's leaning towards it being a multiverse movie. We have Jamie Foxx come back as Electro. Alfred Molina come back as Doc Ock. Talk of Andrew Garfield being there as obviously Peter Parker. Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man films. Rumours of Tobey Maguire coming back as well from the Sam Raimi films. I actually, like, don't know. We really do not know what's going to happen. But I think this will probably be one of the biggest films of the year. Especially if they keep teasing us, if they don't actually give us a trailer or anything soon. Come December, the hype for it is going to be ridiculous, and I am so excited for it. I am all in. Then we have Hawkeye. I believe that is coming out November 2021. Apologies if these dates are off a little bit, but I'm sure it's November 2021. I think it was like 24th November it's coming out. So Hawkeye's now a TV show where we have, obviously, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, come back as Clint Barton. And we've also got Haley Steinfeld. She's coming in as Kate Bishop. Apparently, Kate Bishop is going to be a big fan of Hawkeye. And he's going to train her up to be the next Hawkeye. Or that's what I'm hearing. Again, we'll need to see what happens, but we will be doing podcasts, obviously, for that and all the films we talked about. Florence Pugh's back as Yelena Belova. If you have seen the Black Widow film and obviously the post-credit scene, I'll give you a spoiler warning now. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. In the post-credit scene, we had Valentina seeing Yelena at the grave of Natasha Romanoff. And it sounded like Yelena works for Valentina, who obviously spoke to John Walker in Captain Winter Soldier. Now, there's talk that they are going to be potentially the Thunderbolts, so led by General Thaddeus Ross, and including John Walker, including Yelena Belova, and Abomination and things like that as well. So, yeah, Valentina speaks to Yelena and gives her the details of Clint Barton of Hawkeye and asks if she wants to get revenge on the person who was responsible for her sister's death. So we're going to see if Yelena is going to be chasing after Jeremy Renner, Clint Barton in Hawkeye. But as I say, I'm sure that's this November that comes out. Then we have Ms. Marvel, which is slated for winter 2021. I think it might be pushed back into 2022, where we'll see Kamala Khan, who I believe her powers are not going to be exactly the same like in the comics, where she can, kind of like Mr. Fantastic, she can elasticate her skin or makes her like limbs and stuff bigger. Apparently it's going to be more about being part of the Purple Corps, I believe. But yeah, that's going to be strange. That's going to be a very strange one. Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Yeah, then we have, so Morbius is slated for January 21st, 2022. That has been pushed back quite a bit. Again, this is a Sony film. We don't know if it's going to be connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Apparently it will be. Apparently it's the first Sony spin-off to be properly connected to the MCU, but Marvel hasn't officially acknowledged it. So I don't know. But Jared Leto is there as Morbius the vampire. Then we have Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness, March 25th, 2022. This is going to be probably the next big one, with potentially Doctor Strange, with Wanda, and the Spider-Man guys, maybe. Thor Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. Russell Crowe as Zeus as well. I don't know, it's going to be mental. And yeah, we've got a few things after that. I'm going to kind of stop it there, but there's quite a few things on the slate after that, which will definitely be exciting, very exciting. But that's what we're at up until like mid 2022. So a lot of content coming. So that's why I've started doing this podcast. I feel that we have a lot of content to get through, so it'd be great to go through the journey with all you guys. So we are going to be chatting about the upcoming show, which is actually happening on Wednesday, the 11th of August. It's an animated show called What If. Um, the synopsis for What If is so What If flips the script on the MCU, reimagining famous events from the films in unexpected ways. Marvel Studios' first animated series focuses on different heroes from the MCU, featuring a voice cast that includes a host of stars who reprise their roles. Directed by Brian Andrews, with AC Bradley as head writer, What If launches exclusively on Disney Plus on August the 11th. Right, so What If, the animated show for Disney, it's going to be very interesting. The first episode is going to be based around Peggy Carter, and if it was her that took the super soldier serum and not Steve Rogers at the start of World War II. Now, it is being Peggy Carter is being reprised by Hayley Atwell, so we are getting the genuine actress for Peggy Carter from the live action shows, sorry, live action movies, and Dominic Cooper as well is coming back as Howard Stark. So again, we're getting the two main people in it. Now, this is going to be a very, very interesting episode because from what I've seen from the trailers, we do still see Steve Rogers in some sort of capacity. Now, we don't know if that's going to be like a potentially like a sidekick for Peggy Carter. Not quite sure. Now, with What If though, in the larger scale, it's for me, it's so interesting after Loki. Because Loki obviously set up the multiverse for us, and then we've obviously got Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness coming up. So although this first, when I first heard about What If, I thought it was maybe a potentially a standalone series and just something different for the MCU to have. I do wonder if there's going to be a bit of an overarching link in with the actual MCU. If there's a multiverse within the movies and the TV shows, live action movies and TV shows, this can then potentially bleed through to animated as well, and especially with the literally the question asking us, what if? It's given us lots of different realities that potentially could have happened, potentially will happen, potentially will be implemented into the MCU for the wider source. Don't know, but it's going to be very, very interesting going forward to see if this does fit in with it. Hello, and apologies, I am in different clothes because it is the next day. I wanted to quickly add something because there's been an interview come out with the writer and director of What If, and they have confirmed that it is official canon. Holy shit, that's going to open up so much. Right, back to it. Now, as we know, with the multiverse, there is limitless multiverses, and that's something that we found out in Loki, with Kang the Conqueror, he was called the one that was left. One that was left? Yeah. I think that's right. I can't remember. But yeah, so he told us that there is countless numbers of him in different timelines that that will potentially be looking at or will be the overarching bad guy in the actual movies. So if there's a limitless amount of Kangs and a limitless amount of universes, does this animated What If universe, is this some of the universes that we the multiverse? Is this some of the universes in the multiverse that we may be seeing more of? Very, very interesting, and it's going to give us a lot of questions, I think. Now, so What If is scheduled for 10 episodes. We have Jeffrey Wright, who is playing the Watcher. The Watcher essentially watches. I can't really say much more about him. They are watching over all the universes. They're watching over the whole multiverse, but not changing anything and not influencing anything that happens in these multiverses. So I feel like the Watcher is going to be our eyes on the show, or will be our into the show as well. Our narrator, basically who we are seeing it through the eyes of. So yeah, and Jeffrey Wright is a fantastic actor, great voice for animated shows. He's very quite he's quite interesting to listen to. So I think he's a fantastic choice for the Watcher. But yes, so the first episode is with Peggy Carter, who is going to be Captain Britain, maybe. I know Captain Britain is a different person in the comics, normally a male, I believe. But you know, Peggy's decked out in her whole Union Jack suit and the Union Jack shield as well, which kind of leads us towards, you know, her being Captain Britain. But we will see what happens with that. I'm very, very interested to see what that comes up with, and how that will influence things going forward. If that's going to potentially map out the rest of What If for us, or if that's going to give us any clues as to if it's going to be linked to the wider MCU, or if it is going to be a standalone. If it's going to be a standalone, I think that's going to be absolutely fine. I believe there's going to be things like the Marvel Zombies potentially. There's going to be if T'Challa was picked up by Yondu, and then not Star-Lord, or he becomes Star-Lord. Sorry, it wasn't Peter Quill. So yeah, there's a lot of weird questions that will get answered that maybe we weren't even asking, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so that is us done for the first little podcast. Just a small one just now, just to tease you guys and make you want some more. But basically, what we'll be doing is I don't know how I did that. Sorry. If you're watching, I apologize. If you're listening, you're probably glad you didn't actually see that. But yes, we just did a quick one today, just to kind of let you know what's going to be happening. Quickly touch on a couple of things. But what I'm going to do is on the next podcast, which I'd hopefully do for the weekend after What If. So we're talking like the weekend of the 14th, 15th of August. So we can chat about the actual episode of What If. What happened, if there's anything that we can take forward from there. We'll chat about what the next episode is going to be. And yeah, that's kind of how we'll kind of go with it from now on. So guys, if you have any feedback, if there's anything that you want me to discuss on the podcast, just tweet me at Massey1903. Send me a DM. It's absolutely fine. I'm going to try and I'll get a Twitter set up for the Delivery for Tony Stank podcast. But for now, just tweet me at Massey1903. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, like and comment below, and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you are listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you want to listen to more. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, for your support. And yeah, we will see you next time. Goodbye.